It's crazy to me to think that everything that is on Earth was already here from the beginning of time. What I mean by that is, our planet has not gotten any bigger, but yet it's been filled with more and more things. Buildings, vehicles, roadways, farms, fields, trees. But everything that was made had to come from something that existed naturally. Like, I realize that there are artificial flavors, and there are artificial colors, and there are artificial this and that and the other. And there are synthetic materials that do not occur in nature on their own, but they have to be made from things that occurred. You can't just create something new. At the very basic molecular atomic level, everything was here already. So, how did we as humans develop the ability to create a smartphone, or to figure out the internet, which literally sends information through the air and it arrives where you want it to go? I can access any information I want to from any spot on the planet, basically. How does somebody figure out how to do that? And how did it not happen before? I mean, I'm staring at a stoplight right now that changes color based on which cars are allowed to go. Or the cars go based on which color that stoplight is. How did somebody figure out how to, one, put the lights in that order, but establish the system that allows those lights to know when to change? It's incredible how awesome the human mind is, and yet how stupid we can still be. Like, how somebody can develop something like the internet, or figure out how to take a person's heart out of their body and put in a new one, and the person is still alive the entire time. And we have full-grown adults in an affluent country like the United States of America that can't figure out how to give their kids a bath every day. It's crazy how incredibly smart some people can be, and how ignorant and, again, stupid others can be. And I get that there are circumstances that allow some people to afford more education or better resources. But how is that? Again, everything that was here was already here on this planet. There is not a drop of water in the ocean that hasn't been here since the beginning of time, in some state, whether it was in the ocean as liquid, in the air as vapor, or frozen in the ice caps as a solid. Everything was here and still is here. And yet not everybody has been afforded the same opportunities to make the most out of those resources that they possibly can. We still have people living in grass huts, while others are living hundreds of, or even, not thousands of feet, but hundreds of feet in the air in penthouse apartments. How? I don't know the answer. And I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that we haven't all figured out how to be geniuses and create new discoveries. Discover new things. it's awe-inspiring to think that there are people out there that are capable of those things, but it's also kind of mind-numbing to understand or to realize that there are people out on this earth that haven't experienced as much in their entire lifetime as some children do in their first 2 years. And again, I don't know if it's a problem. I haven't decided yet if I feel that it's a problem. Because to those people in those countries that don't have the resources or haven't established a way of life that leads to what I think is a pretty good lifestyle and an efficient way of living, maybe that's their good lifestyle and efficient way of living. Maybe they are comfortable with that, and because that's all they've ever known, they're all right with it. It's not until somebody comes into their homeland and their country and tells them, hey, there's something better, that they start to feel that way. The phrase ignorance is bliss comes to mind. If you don't know there's something better or different, then you're okay with the way things are. You're happy with the way things are. The thing that makes people upset and dissatisfied with their current life situation is knowing that something else is out there. And again, for some people, that's a good thing. If you know something else is out there, that can drive you and motivate you to achieve it. But if you don't know it's there, then what's the lesser of two evils, or what's better in that case? Knowing and not getting it, or not knowing and being totally satisfied with your current situation. I don't know. I really don't. And I'm not trying to sound sarcastic or pitiful or I don't even know what other word to describe it, but what's better? To know something better exists, to know something greater is at the next step, and to work for it and achieve it, or to not know any of it's there and be satisfied. Because, okay, you're working toward a specific career or a greater net worth, and you're going to keep pushing until you reach that goal. But once you reach that goal, are you going to be satisfied? Is that going to be, okay, I reached my goal, I'm done, this is where I am, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, I feel good about it? Is that going to be the case? Or through all of your working and trying to get to that place, you've discovered, oh, there's more. I can have more. I can be more. I can receive more. And is that going to continue to drive you to constantly be working for more? Because there's always going to be more. Always. Or is the person sitting in this third world country, or this, for lack of a better word, undiscovered country? It's not undiscovered because somebody's living there, but is a person that's in this unreached, I don't know if unreached is even the right term, but without any access to technology or the internet or even running water for that matter. Is that person satisfied because they don't know there's more, or are they satisfied because they are just happy? They don't need more. They have everything they need. I mean, the ancient civilizations didn't have all this stuff. They didn't have 3-car garages and corrugated metal roofs and 55-inch flat screens that could access the internet and watch literally anything they ever wanted. They didn't have a $30,000 automobile with 18 cup holders and DVD players in the back. But yet here we are generations later with all of those things and still wanting more. The fact that we exist as a society today shows us, tells us that the previous generations, our ancestors, everyone that came before us, had what they needed. Because if they didn't, they'd have died before procreating and creating another generation to go forward. They would not have succeeded if they didn't have what they need. And none of this stuff was there. So who says that more is better? The people that have it or the people that don't? I don't know. It's a question that I will continue to ponder, and if I find the answer, you can bet I'll share it with you. But I really don't think there is one, because we all have our own perspective. But it's just amazing to me that these things have been created out of apparent necessity, double quotes, and they've existed all along, or the opportunity for them to exist has existed all along. And we're only now reaching the cusp of these things, and we haven't yet, that's another topic for another day. 12 minutes is long enough. I'm inspired and curious and all of those things as to what makes a life better. Knowing there's more and working toward it, or not knowing and being satisfied with where you are, or knowing and being satisfied with where you are. My goodness, there's lots of questions. We'll tackle these later. Bye-bye.